Hi, Yogi Scholars. This is Kristen with Yoga Day again for our fourth week of classes. Gosh, I can't believe it's already been 4 weeks. So last week you worked with Leafy on standing head to knee and talked a lot about different words such as compassion and passion and perseverance and resiliency. And so this week we're going to go back to some of our quotes, and I'm going to actually put the quotes along with the author down below in the information in case afterward, not in case, because that will be part of your homework, is to look up the authors, the philosophers, and the poets that I have listed down below to try to get some inspiration, hopefully, for yourself in your life. So this is one of my favorite quotes. This is from a 13th century Persian philosopher named Rumi, and I'll put a link down below so you can check him out. Persia is now known as Iran. And so this quote is, "Your hand opens and closes, opens and closes. If it were always a fist or always stretched open, you would be paralyzed. Your deepest presence is in every small contracting and expanding, the two as beautifully balanced and coordinated as birds' wings." So I just love that image, and it corresponds perfectly to what we do in yoga. We're going to start with the breathing exercises using our hands opening and closing, and then we're going to do a lot of postures with our bodies where we're kind of contracting and then expanding. And so make sure that you have some water, that you're set up comfortably somewhere with a little bit of room to move, and then join me sitting down crisscross with your spine nice and long, chest up, shoulders down and back, and then go ahead and flip your palms over so that your palms are facing up. And we're going to do that breathing exercise with the contracting and the expanding. So breathe in as you clench your fist, and breathe out as you open up. Breathe in, clench your fist. Breathe out, open. Breathe in, clench up. Breathe out, open and expand. These last two, let's close our eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last big breath in. And out. And then please open your eyes, flip your palms back over again. We're going to do a seated cat and cow. So breathe in, lift your chest up, look up, stretch your throat. Breathe out, curl your belly in, pull in through your belly, round your back. Breathe in, chin up, shoulders down, chest up. And breathe out, pull everything in. Breathe in, chest up, shoulders down, chin up. Breathe out, pull everything in. Exhale the air out. And then come to the neutral position with your spine. Interlock your 10 fingers behind your head, elbows out wide. Lift your chest up. Exhale the air out. Tuck your chin into your chest and feel that stretch in the back of your neck. And then slowly come back up. Take your left hand over your head. Stretch your right arm out to the right. Big breath. Exhale, pull. Make sure your shoulders are down away from your ears. You're bringing your ear to your shoulder, not your shoulder to your ear. And then let's do the other side. Left hand out, right hand over your ear. Pull. Big breath. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, feel the stretch. And back to center. Go ahead and come into a tabletop position. Shoulders underneath, wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We're going to do cat and cow now on our hands and our knees. So inhale, belly down, chin up. Exhale, draw everything in, round your back like a cat at Halloween. Inhale, belly down, chin up for cow. Exhale for cat. Really round your back, spread your shoulder blades apart. Inhale, belly down, chin up. Exhale all the air out. Now please come to a neutral position with your spine. Curl your toes under and lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Go ahead and Take some time to move here. Press your heels down. You guys know how to do this. Lift your hips up really high. Pay attention. We're going to do a little checklist. So pay attention to your hands. Press your hands into the ground. Press your knuckles into the ground. Pay attention to your shoulders. Pull them away from your ears and really broaden your back. Pay attention to your belly. Pull it in nice and tight. Lift your hips up. Pay attention to the back of your legs. You're going to feel a nice stretch here. Paddle your legs back and forth and back and forth. Pay attention to your feet. Lift your toes up, all 10 toes up, and then press them back down into the mat. And don't be alarmed if your heels don't touch. You guys know this. Your heels might not touch, and that's okay. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Walk your feet forward for ragdoll. Feet about hip width distance apart. Grab your elbows, or you can keep your hands on the ground. Bend your knees as much as you need to make this comfortable for you. And then we're going to slowly roll up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll your shoulders down and back. All right, let's get into some warrior postures. So come to a standing position. I'm going to move my mat back a little bit. Come to a standing position. Your right leg is going to stay forward. Step your left leg back, a big step for warrior 1. Now remember, warrior 1, heel is on the ground. Press the outer edge of your back foot into the floor. Wake up the muscles of the back leg. So contract the thighs, squeeze the glute, push the hips forward, and remember, warrior 1, your arms are up over your head. And we're going to move with our breath again, that contracting and expanding. So inhale, stretch up, expand up. Exhale, open your arms, warrior 2. Let's do that 3 times. Inhale, arms up, stretch up. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, arms up, stretch up, expand. And exhale, pull your belly in. Now flip your front palm over. Breathe in to lift up. Breathe out back to warrior 2. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, warrior 2. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, warrior 2. All right, we're going to do humble warrior now. Now, before we get into it, make sure you can see your toes. So your knee is stacked over your heel. It's not way over your toes. Pay attention to your legs. Wake up the muscles of the legs. Squeeze your shoulder blades in toward one another. Now, you can use a little hand towel if you need to, but most of you should be able to reach back behind you and make that fist. When you make that fist, you'll notice it already lifted my chest up. So humble warrior, we're going to bow. Take a big breath. Inhale. And then exhale, bow down, lift your arms up. Let your head hang, shake your head, no tension in your neck or your shoulders. Inhale, slowly come up. Release your hands. Straighten your front leg for triangle pose. Stretch forward, bring your hand down to your shin. Stretch your left arm up. And then you'll notice, you can see me from the side, my hips don't want to sink way back. You want to push your hips forward, and the more you push your hips forward, the more you're going to feel a stretch on the side of your body. Breathe in as you slowly come up. Toes in. We're going to do that wide-legged forward fold. Take a big breath. Inhale. Exhale, slowly fold forward. Shake your head yes and no. Take a few seconds here to breathe, to feel how your body feels today. And then we're just going to move a little bit. So when you're ready, work your hands over to the right foot, and then you'll end up feeling more of a stretch in the back of the right leg. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, work your hands over to your left foot. Inhale back to center. Big breath in and out. Put your hands on your hips and slowly come up. And then step forward. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So now the left leg is going to stay forward. Right leg steps back. Warrior 1. Remember, it's your choice how you do your warriors. You can have short warrior, which is less challenging. You can really work today on a deeper warrior, trying to get that almost a 90-degree angle with that front leg. It's your choice. Just make sure that your body feels good while you're in it. Remember, we're okay with a little bit of discomfort, but never, never pain. Make sure you can see your toes. Make sure your knee is in alignment over your heel. And then expand up for warrior 1. Big breath in. Exhale, open your arms, warrior 2. Inhale, stretch up, warrior 1. Exhale, open out, warrior 2. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, warrior 2. Big breath in. and let it out. Now flip your palm over. We're going to move with our breath again. Inhale, lift up, reverse your warrior. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, lift up, reverse. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, back to warrior two. And now we're going to do that humble warrior. Ready? Grab a towel or a belt if you need to, or make that fist. Breath in, stretch up. Breathe out, bow down. So your torso is inside your leg. Let your head hang, and you gently bring your arms up over your head. You're a little bit upside down in this warrior, so now your warrior becomes kind of a little bit of a balancing act as well. And then inhale, slowly come up. Release your hands, straighten the front leg. Get ready for triangle pose. Breathe in, breathe out, stretch over your toes, reach your hand down. Wherever it lands is fine. You can go to your ankle, you can go to your shin. If you're super flexible, you can go all the way down to the ground of your toes. Just be mindful of your hips. Push them forward, get that good stretch in the side of your body. And if it feels okay on your neck, look up. Inhale, slowly come up. And then slowly, wide-legged forward fold. This time, if you want to make a fist behind your back, you can. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. As you fold forward, try to bring your weight a little bit into your toes. I'm going to get an alignment here. You'll feel a big stretch in the back of the legs. You can bend your knees a little bit if you need to relieve that stretch. If it feels good, you try to contract your thigh muscles. And the more you contract your thigh muscles, the more your hamstrings will begin to open up. Arms over your head if it feels good. If it doesn't feel good, you can keep your hands on the ground. Inhale, slowly come up. Pivot forward, step forward, feet together. All right, let's do a couple of balancing postures. So come to the middle of wherever you are with your toes together, and there's a little half-inch gap between your heels. Lift up all 10 toes, and then place them gently onto the floor. Shift your weight to your right leg. Bring your left leg up and hold your knee. I like to put my hand on my hip. You can have it down to the side, or you can already start with it out to the side, whichever one feels good. Take a breath in. Find one spot to focus on. Remember your drishti, that's your eye focus, your eye gaze. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Open your leg out to the side. Slowly stretch your right arm to the right. And then very slowly begin to look over your fingers. Bring it back to the center. Now see if you can not let your leg drop. Hook it over and go into your eagle pose. Left arm under, left leg over. Okay, now this is going to become a balancing act as well, but we're going to do that contracting and expanding theme, and we're going to bring it into eagle pose as well. So inhale, lift up as tall as you can, and then exhale, see if you can touch your elbows to your knee. It's harder than it looks. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, pull your belly in, try to get your elbows to touch your knee. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, contract. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Arms up over your head and arms down by your side. Same thing on the other side. Shift your weight to your left leg. Push your left big toe down. Contract the left thigh. And when you're ready, right knee up. Find one spot to focus on. Take a big breath in. Exhale, open your leg out to the side. Slowly stretch your arm out to the left. Then very slowly look over your fingers. And then bring it back to the center. See if without letting that foot drop, you can hook it around. I can't hook my toes on this side. Right leg over, right arm under, eagle pose. So since we're moving our torso, that probably means your gaze is going to change as well. Find one spot to focus on, and we'll move slowly. Inhale, exhale, gaze will change as you try to touch your elbows to your knee. Really try to use your stomach to make this happen. Inhale, expand, lift up. Exhale, contract, pull in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, contract. One more, inhale. I got a little wobbly. Exhale, and then just like that quote, bird's wings, flap your wings. And arms down by your side. All right, let's get down to the floor. We'll do it the fun way with the chair pose and then rolling back. We'll do that 3 times. So arms up over your head. Exhale, sit down in the chair. This is Utkatasana. Sit down lower and lower, lower. lower, and then roll back. See if you can come back up. 2 more times. Lower, 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 roll back. Come back up. Last time, we're going to see if we can roll back and then come forward into a tabletop position. Ready? Lower, 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 roll back. Cross your feet. Come into a tabletop position. All right, nice job. Now, we're going to hold a plank pose before we go down to the ground. It is your choice. You can hold plank pose on your knees. If you're holding plank pose on your knees, you don't want it to be a tabletop, right? Tabletop is really easy. So you want to walk your hands a little bit forward, pull the belly in, and this is your plank pose on your knees, which is totally fine. If you're feeling adventurous and strong, curl your toes under and lift your knees up and see if you can hold plank pose in this position. Really pay attention to your hands, spread your fingers out, press your knuckles into the ground. You don't want to wing your shoulder blades. So press into the ground and expand that space between your shoulder blades. Pull your belly in, contract your glutes, contract your thighs. Hold this, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to slowly lower all the way down to the ground. I'm not going to do it that way, I'm going to do it this way. Okay. Take a breath in here, because I need one, and breathe out. And we're going to do a couple of baby cobras with our breath. So put your hands on the ground underneath your shoulders. Your fingers can be together, or they can be separated. Just make sure that you're aware of what your fingers are doing. Your legs can be together like a snake tail, or they can be hip-width distance apart. Either way, just make a mindful choice. Press your feet into the ground. Take a big breath, lift up. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. All right, and now let's do one locust pose. So the locust pose, your arms can be out like wings like this, out to the side like a T. They can be like a jet plane, or you can make that bind that we did before in Humble Warrior and Forward Fold, and those are the wings of your locust. Take a big breath and lift everything up. Find one spot to focus on. It can either be on the ground or it can be up high, whichever one feels better on you. And then lift one leg up, lift the other leg up, come up, and slowly lower down. All right. Press yourself back up. So we did those back bends. We did the back bends with Cobra. We kind of opened up and contracted with the rabbit, the cat and cow poses. And now we're going to work into 2 poses that are very much about contracting and expanding, and that's camel pose and rabbit pose. So we're going to start with camel pose. Camel pose is a deep back bend, right? And so when you get into it, you're exposing your chest and all your vital organs. You're a little bit upside down, and probably you're not used to back bending a lot. Maybe you are. You probably did a lot of leafy last week. The key to when you're feeling uncomfortable like that and when you're in this is just to breathe. So for me, on camel pose, I like to curl my toes under. There's all sorts of ways that you can do it. If you're really flexible, then you can uncurl your toes and press the tops of your feet into the floor, or like me, curl your toes under. Also, too, you don't have to worry about grabbing your feet if that's not for you today. You're going to start with your hands on your hips. Push your hips forward, lift your chest up, and drop your head back. Now, it's usually about this moment when I start to feel uncomfortable. And so instead of talking now, I'm going to breathe. Now that breath has calmed me down a little bit. I'm going to squeeze my glutes, push my hips more forward, and then maybe I can grab one heel today. And then maybe the other heel. And then you might reach back and you can't find your heel, and if that's the case, you just stay right here. Take a big breath in. Let it out. Inhale. Exhale. Put your hands on your hips. Slowly come up. And then we're going to counter that expanding pose with rabbit pose, which is a contracting pose. All right? So with rabbit pose, you're going to really pull your belly in. I'm going to make my rabbit ears by bringing my hands out, making that fist. Big breath in, exhale, round down, get your forehead as close to your knees as you can. Pull the belly in and lift your arms up. So the arms are the ears of the rabbit. Very little weight should be on your head. Pull your belly in nice and tight. and slowly come back up. And roll your shoulders out a little bit if you'd like. Bring your feet out in front of you. Stretch your arms forward. Pull the belly in and slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Walk your feet in close to your body. You're going to set up for bridge pose. Walk your feet in close to your body, feet about hip width distance apart, arms down by your side. Draw your belly in, press your lower back into the mat. Squeeze your glutes and lift your hips up. Now, a little trick that I like to do is I like to put my hands underneath my hips and then lift my hips up higher and then see if I can hold that there without using my hands. Be mindful your knees aren't pulling out to the side. Your knees are in line with your hips. Relax your neck and your shoulders. And then slowly lower down. Upper back, middle back, lower back on the mat. Bring your knees in. Rock gently from side to side. We're going to do 2 more of those. Bring your feet back down to the mat. Feet hip width distance apart. Arms down by your side. Palms facing down. Pull the belly in. Press your lower back into the ground. Squeeze your glutes. Lift your hips up. Maybe you try that little trick again. Lift your hips up higher. Now, make that fist. Keep lifting. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down. Upper back, middle back, lower back on the ground. Bring your knees into your chest. Rock gently side to side. Last one. Feet down, arms down, neck long, belly in, lift up. Lift up higher. Walk your hands. And slowly lower down. Upper back, middle back, lower back. Bring your knees into your chest. Rock gently side to side. And then if it feels good on you, rock and roll up a couple of times. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think you just learned about the word all right. All right, we're going to finish this off with boat pose. So for boat pose, bring your feet out in front of you. Rock back just slightly and put your hands underneath your knees. Roll your shoulders down and back. Lift one leg up. Lift the other leg up. You can try like me. I'm trying to go for straight legs, or you can bend your knees and make your shins or your calves parallel to the ground. Either way is good. But either way, pull the lower belly in nice and tight. Roll your shoulders down and back. You can stay right here in the supported boat pose, or you can try to challenge yourself and let your hands go. And hold this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax down. Okay. We're going to do that again, and then we're going to lower down into low boat pose. We're going to come back up into high boat pose, and then we're going to cross our feet and lift our hips. Now, a little trick to lifting our hips is if you need to make your arms longer, get 2 books, 2 big books, and place them underneath. Books would work, bricks would work. Gosh, I think maybe even 2 pots would work. Anything that's stable that you can put underneath your hands. All right? So, hands underneath your knees, roll your shoulders back, lift the legs up, pull the belly in, let your arms go or keep it in supported. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If it feels all right for you, lower down to low boat, come back up to high boat, then cross your feet and lift your hips. I don't get very high, but that's okay. It gets the job done. All right, let's do it one more time. Legs up, arms up. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down low. Come back up high. Cross your feet. Lift your hips. And we're done with the hard part. Great job, guys. We're going to do some nice stretching next. So stand up on your knees. Remember, if anytime you're staying on your knees, if this hurts your ankles, you can make sure you're on a carpet. You can get a towel or a blanket and put it underneath your knees. Whatever feels good to maybe soften it. Stand up on your knees, and then you're going to take your right leg and step it forward, a big step. Now, just like those warriors, you want to be able to see your toes. So if I take a tiny little step and then I start pushing my hips forward, this is going to be a lot of pressure on the front of my knee. We don't want that. So take a big step so that when you push your hips forward, your knee and your ankle stay in one line. You should feel a good stretch through the front of your thigh. Squeeze your glute and push your hips forward. Keep your belly nice and tight. Now, take your arm up and over. Feel the stretch move up through the body. A big breath in. You can stay here in this supported pose, or you can drop your hands down inside your feet for lizard. So lizard pose, if you're really flexible, which I am not, you can go down to your forearms. I can almost do it, but that's not as nice as going on my hands. But you're welcome to go to your forearms. Push your hips forward. Now we're going to do a nice little twist. So coming this way, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Keep your left hand on the ground, stretch your right arm up. So that's a nice, easy twist, supported on the knee. If you want to intensify it, then you can take that arm, bend the knee, reach back and see if you can grab your foot. You might reach back and can't find your foot, and that's okay. You might take that towel or that belt or whatever it is that you had before and see if you can lasso your foot. That works too. And release. Now, straighten this front leg. Bring the hips back. Flex the foot to feel the stretch in the back of the leg. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So now right leg steps back. Left leg step forward. Remember your alignment. Make sure you can see your toes. Push your hips towards your front foot. Keep your so your torso might want to come forward. Keep your torso upright. That's going to increase the stretch of the front of the leg. Rest your elbow on your leg and stretch your right arm up and over. Go ahead and bring your hands down if it feels good for you for lizard pose. If at this point you want to go down to your forearms, feel free to go to your forearms. Then keep your right hand down, stretch your left arm up. And then if you want to work it in, stretch your arm back behind you, see if you can bend your foot and grab your foot behind you. You can't really see me doing it. That's a deep stretch. And release. Now, flex the front foot, send the hips back, get the good stretch to the back of the leg. And release, come back to a seated position. Hands on your knees. We're going to do the seated cat and cow before we close. So inhale, lift up, expand. Exhale, pull everything in and really hang on to your knees as you rock back. Inhale, chin up, shoulders down. Exhale, look into your belly, contract everything. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Come back to a neutral position with your spine. Flip your palms over. Close your eyes. All right, let's finish it off with that breath. Inhale, make a fist. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, curl in. Exhale, open up. Inhale. And exhale. when we teach that breathing exercise with the hands at schools, which we're doing right now virtually for you guys, I'd like to remind you that this is something that you can do, and no one even has to know that you're doing it. Your hands can be down by your side, and you can practice that breathing exercise to calm yourself down anytime, anywhere. It's not like you have to go and bust out a child pose and everyone knows what you're doing. This could be something that's very discreet, that is actually a little tool that you can use to help regain your composure or make yourself feel better in times when you're uncomfortable. All right, lie down on your backs. Keep your left leg straight, bend your right knee, and bring your knee into your chest. Take your hand over your knee, pull your knee across your body. So you're doing a deep spine twist here from the base of your spine, and then as you look over your opposite shoulder, you're also getting your neck involved as well. And then bring it back to the center, switch sides. Right leg down, left leg lift up, pull your knee down close. And then take your right hand over your left knee, pull your knee across your body, and then again, get your neck over your opposite shoulder. Bring it back to the center. Now bring both knees into your chest, rock gently side to side. We're going to do one last exercise with that contracting and expanding. So, inhale, lift your chin up, pull in your belly, hold your breath, contract your jaw, create some tension, curl your toes, hold that for 3, hold that for 2, hold that for 1, and noisily exhale, relax, expand. And in fact, for this one, make yourself really big. Open your legs out wide, open your arms out wide, close your eyes. Every inhalation, allow your chest and your belly to rise. And then every exhalation, allow your body to release. Inhale, expand. Exhale, let go. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sink down. Stay there, lying down. I'm going to slowly come up. While you're lying there completely still with your eyes closed, I'm going to read to you that Rumi quote one more time. Your hand opens and closes, opens and closes. If it were always a fist or always stretched open, you would be paralyzed. Your deepest presence is in every small contracting and expanding, the two as beautifully balanced and coordinated as birds' wings. So my homework for you is to maybe get online and follow this link that I have for Rumi, and maybe explore some of his other writings. They're all really good. And then also throughout the rest of your day, I want you to be very aware of how your body moves, when you're opening up, when you're contracting, and how your breath kind of mimics that. Remember, if we were always one way, we'd be paralyzed. But we're constantly in flux, constantly in movement, our bodies, our minds, and our everyday lives. And so the rest of the day, just try to be aware of that as you go throughout your day. Thank you guys for showing up, and we will see you next time. Bring your hands together in the center of your chest. Take a big breath in. Let it out. All that is good within me honors and is grateful for all that is good within you. Namaste.